Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. Uh, we are doing lesson number 8, that is cell structure and function. This particular lesson we have discussed about the cell structure, and now in today's session we are going to discuss about some of the organelles which are present in the cytoplasm. First, let us have a quick look at whatever part we have discussed. If we talk about all the parts that we have done up till now, let us have a quick recap to it. What we have discussed, the very first thing which we discussed about was the discovery and of cell and the theories of cell. As you know, it was Robert Hooke who first discovered the cell. Skeldon said that plants are made up of cell. Skyven said that animals are made up of cell. Then came Rudolf Virchow who gave 4 postulates of cell. What were these 4 postulates? These 4 postulates were: cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. All cells come from pre-existing cells. Third one was the cells. In them, all the chemical and physiological activities are carried out. The next one was the function of the cell depends upon the function of all the cytoplasmic small organelles which are present in that. That was about what we discovered about what we discussed about the theories of cell. After that we discussed about the unicellular and multicellular cell. What is unicellular? The cell which is made up of just one single any organism that is made up of just one single cell, and it is capable of performing different number of functions, then that is said to be the unicellular cell organism. Then came multicellular. Multicellular means more than one particular cells are linked with it. Cluster of cells make the tissue. Cluster of tissues make organ, cluster of organs make organ system, and the organ system together makes up an organism. The best example of it is human being itself. Let us move further on the topics that we have discussed further. Further we discussed about the shape of the cell. If we discuss about the shape of the cell, then shape of the cell has nothing to do with the size of the organism. Like we discussed the nerve cell, it is present in both, where the nerve cell is present in the rats as well as in humans, but irrespective of our sizes, it is performing the same function. Then the next part which we discussed was the size of cell. If we talk about the size of the cell, then cell size is ranging from a few micrometers to few millimeters. And we have also discussed about fixed particular values which you have to memorize. Okay. Then the next part which we discussed was the parts of cell. And which parts of cell we have discussed? We have discussed about the 3 parts, that is cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. These are the three parts, and we have discussed in detail about all three parts. If we talk about cell membrane, then it is selective permeable membrane. Now, what is the meaning of the word selective permeable membrane? Try to recall, we have discussed that it allows entry and exit of only certain materials. Moving further, we discussed about cell wall. Cell wall is the extra layer that is present only in plants. Okay, and what it is made up of? Cellulose. These are the words which you need to memorize. And the cell wall is capable of protecting the plant from high atmospheric moisture, high wind speed, and high temperature. Against all these problems, cell wall will protect the plant. Then next, if we talk about cytoplasm, then cytoplasm has many organelles and it is a jelly-like fluid. Then moving further on the nucleus. Try to recall, we discussed about the four parts of nucleus. Nuclear membrane, nucleolus, nucleoplasm, and chromosome. These are the four parts that we had discussed. What is nuclear membrane? The outer membrane that has pores that allows entry and exit of only certain material, that is called as nuclear membrane. Nucleolus, its body is made up of RNA. Nucleoplasm, it is a fluid. While chromosome, these are hereditary, it has hereditary unit, and the basic hereditary unit is called as gene, and it transfers the characters from parents to offspring. Then we had also discussed about the very important part, that is function of nucleus. Nucleus is also called as the headquarter of the cell. Why it is called headquarter now? It is called headquarter because it allows the entry and exit of only certain materials. So, and moreover, it also functions, it also takes care of all the functions that are carried out in cytoplasm. All the functions that are carried out in cytoplasm, they are governed by nucleus, and hence it is called as the headquarter. So this is about what we can say about the entire part which we have discussed. In today's session, we are going to discuss in detail about the organelles that are given and where they are present and what is their function. Let us move further and let's see what is given further. Here you are having about some other cell organelles in the cytoplasm, and in detail here it is given about just two organelles. One is plastid and another one is vacuole, and both of them are present in plant cell. Vacuoles are present in both plant and animal cell, but plastids are present only in plant cells. Let us move further. about the vacuoles. If we talk about vacuoles, then vacuoles are like a refrigerator. Now you might be thinking, how can we compare a refrigerator with a vacuole? What is the function of refrigerator? Whatever food is made or it is processed, it is stored so that it can be uh, long lasting. For a long duration of time we can use it. Same is the function of a vacuole. So as we are having refrigerators at our home for storing, in the same way we have vacuoles which are generally used for stores the food of plant or animal. It is generally a storage structure. It is of very big size in plant cells and small in animal cell. Okay. Uh, they are single. These can be single or multi, and they generally store food, and they are storing the food in the form of a watery liquid, so it is called as cell sap. Moreover, if we talk about some extra information about the vacuoles which is not there in your textbook, it is of three types. Among them, the very first one is food vacuole. Then you have contractile vacuole. Then cell sap, or you can say it is called as sap vacuole. If we talk about food vacuole, then if it is storing food, then it is called as food vacuole. If it is storing water, then it is called as contractile vacuole. If it is storing almost everything, that is, it is very big, then it is called as sap vacuole. So this particular thing is generally there in plant cells where it is occupying about 90% of its volume. When you come in class 9, you will study in detail about the content vacuoles. And that is all about the vacuoles. You have to note it down quickly, and then we will move further on the next particular part, which is the plastids. Be quick. I hope you have noted it down. Now let us move further. Now if we move further, we are going to talk about the next particular organelle in detail, and that is plastid. Basically, this plastid is bifurcated into three parts. But one of the very important part about the plastid is it is only present in plant cell. It is there only in plant cell, it is nowhere else, like animal cell or fungi or bacteria, nowhere else. It is only present in plant cell. If we talk about plant cells, when observed under the powerful microscope, we see some small colored objects flowing that are floating in cytoplasm. So these are the small colored objects that are floating in the cytoplasm when plant cell is observed very much carefully. Okay, so when we are seeing the plant cell, and if you properly see it, then you will see some small colored objects in it. What are those colored objects? Those are plastids. Plastids are basically bifurcated into three types. Which are those three types? Chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Plastids of how many types? Three types. That is chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Of how many types is the plastid? It is of three types. What are those? Chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Into how many types is the plastid divided? Into three types. Which are those three types? Chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Chromoplast, chloroplast, leucoplast. Chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Basically, these are divided into three types: chromoplast, chloroplast, and leucoplast. Moving further on this particular topic, which is plastid. If we talk about chromoplast, chromo, the word itself states that it is colored. Okay? Basically, chromoplasts are those particular plastids that are of different colors and they give color to fruits and flowers. Okay, you can see different colored vegetables like tomato, different colors of flowers like roses are available in different colors, red, pink, white. How these colors are coming to them? That colors are coming because of chromo, colored plastid. Okay, so different colors of fruits and flowers is because of chromoplast. So they are, if we talk about this particular plastids, then they are colored plastids which are responsible for the colors of flowers and fruits. And this is how they are important. Moving on the next part, that is chloroplast. If we talk about chloroplast, then They have a green pigment which is called as chlorophyll. It has a green pigment inside it which is chlorophyll. Do remember green pigment also written with green colored marker so that you remember it fast, and it is responsible for all the photosynthesis. This is site of photosynthesis, that is maximum. That photosynthesis, if we talk about, it is the process by which plants prepare their own food. Then it is chloroplast which is helping out in the entire thing. Moving on further on the last part, that is leucoplast. They are generally found in roots and underground modified stem. Their basic function, they are first of all colorless plastid. That is, these plastids do not possess any type of color. Any type of color is not there in this type of plastid, and their basic function is to store food. It is not given its function, but still you have to remember. It is also one of the place where the food is stored. Plastids, where it is present only in plant cells, it is of how many types? It is of 3 types. Which are those 3 types? Those 3 types are chromoplast, chloroplast and leucoplast. If we talk about the chromoplast, then they are of different colors. They give color to the flowers and fruits. Chloroplast, it is having the green colored pigment which is responsible for photosynthesis. Recall photosynthesis, that is plant is taking sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, and what it is making? Its own food. Okay, they are having that system like jadoo, they take dhoop, sunlight, then carbon dioxide from the air, and water we give them, sometimes God also, in the form of the rain. Photosynthesis occurs and ultimately they are able to live their life. Moving further on the leucoplast, where they are found in the roots and underground modified stem. They are colorless plastid, and their basic function is to store maximum proportion. They are storing fat, but it is one of its extra use. So no down till this much, and after that we'll be discussing about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. There is the heading is the comparison between the plant cell and animal cell, and we will discuss it. Quickly note down this. Let us move further. Moving further, the comparison between the plant cell and animal cell. They are having few differences and few similarities. This is about plant cell, animal cell. We will also see their diagrams in one of our lecture. But first, let us continue with the given content. If we talk about the plant cells, then in the beginning, one of the similarity was that both of them are having cell membrane. The next is plants have cell wall. Here, cell wall is absent. Just now, we discussed about the plastids. If we talk about the plastids, then again, plastids are present in plant cell, but they are absent in animal cell. Just now only we discussed. Here the plastids are absent. Moving further, in plant cell, if we talk about the plant cell, then in plant cell, large vacuoles are present. Here, vacuoles are small. Try to recall when we were doing in the beginning only, we had discussed that in plants the vacuoles occupy around 90% of the space. If we talk about plant cell, then plant cell has nucleus is present at periphery. Because the vacuoles are very large, so nucleus is not at the center, but where it is? At the periphery. While in animal cell, nucleus is in the center. Okay, let us move further on the next particular part of the plant cell, and this is the last part. Just observe the diagram that is given on the page, one of the page of your textbook, plant cell and animal cell, and compare it. You will come to know that there is one organelle which is centrosome. It is present only in animal cell but not in plant cell. Here the centrosome is absent. Just check the diagram of animal cell in your textbook. Over here only somewhere you are having a centrosome. Just check out the label centrosome. It will be there in animal cell, it is not there in plant cell. Now, what is the function of this particular centrosome? If we talk about centrosome, then it is the part which is generally used in reproduction, and so it is not there in plant cells, because plants mostly their method of reproduction is asexual. Sexually it is happening, but you'll study about it in detail in your class 10. So plant cells, they are having the outer layer, that is cell wall, and both of them are having cell membrane, but the outer layer is present only in plant cells. Moving further, plastids are present in plant cells, but they are absent in animal cell. Large vacuoles are present in plant cells, while in animal cells the vacuoles are very small. Nucleus is present at periphery. Here the nucleus is present at center. Centrosome is absent over here, while here it is present. So this is all about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Please note it down quickly. After that we'll move further on the next part. That is, we will discuss about the table which is given in your textbook. The very first 4 points that we have already discussed, that part we will discuss. Be quick. I hope you are done with the content. Let us move further. If you have the new edition of the Prachi textbook which we are using, then you will come to know that on page 136 you are having a table, and in this table before the organelles some of the things are given, like cell part where they are present, some of their description and some of their functions. Description about it and the function. If we talk about the cell part, then the very first cell part which they have given is this cell wall, where it is present in only plant cells. If we talk about its description, then it is, if we talk about the description, it is present only in plant cell. It is the outer layer it is very stiff and hard, and moreover it is made up of cellulose. What is its function? It will protect from high wind speed, temperature variations, and if you talk about the function of cell wall, it will protect the plants from high wind speed, temperature variations, and atmospheric moisture. This is how the first part gets completed over here. The next thing is cell membrane. I think this is clear to you. The part which we have already done. The next part is cell membrane, where it is present plant plus animal, both cells. If we talk about it, cell membrane, again it is one of the, in the plants it is inside the cell wall, while in animals it is the outer layer. And one of the very important part about it is it is a semi-permeable membrane. That means allows entry and exit of only certain materials. Not all the materials will be allowed to move here and there in the cell membrane. Only certain materials entry and exit will be allowed. Moving further about the nucleus. If we talk about nucleus, it is present in plant cell as well as animal cell. What is its shape? Its shape is of squamous oval. If we talk about its function, then you know that it is transferring hereditary characters. And last part, the next function is control functions of other organelles. That is, about all the other organelles functions will be controlled by whom? By the nucleus. The last part is the cytoplasm. After this we have not done, we have done only about these 4 parts. After that you are having about each and every particular part, but we will before we discuss that, let us move further on cytoplasm. If we talk about cytoplasm, where it is present again in both, that is plant cell as well as animal cell. Then if we talk about its description, then cytoplasm, it is a jelly-like fluid. Further, if we talk about its function, then cytoplasm's basic function is what? The basic function of cytoplasm is, it is the site of all the life process, and moreover it will protect all the organelles. Which are those organelles that we will discuss in our next particular session. Right now, note down this. I hope, my dear friends, you have noted it. Today's session we complete over here, and now it's the homework timing. Okay, so here is the homework. The very first part, what we discussed today about was vacuoles. Second one was what are plastids. And explain 3 types of plastid. The third one was give the description and function of cytoplasm, cell wall, nucleus, and cell membrane. These 4 parts you have to note down just now and check out the homework, note down the homework. So I hope you have noted down today's homework. With this, we wind up with today's session. Thank you so much, my dear students, for listening to me. Have a very good day. That's all. Bye bye.